Here are the first 10 steps of the CDD method that you can apply to help your dog overcome reactivity. For those of you who are not familiar with the CDD method, it's a natural and holistic way of teaching dogs through natural learning and holistic teaching. And this is coming away from cues and commands. It is taking a step away from training, although force-free training can be used alongside it. But we do want to start reducing the amount of cues that we're getting our dogs to rely on and getting our dogs to rely on treats. Now, there are several reasons for this. You can have a look at the reasons for this in my resources. I also have some blog posts on this, and if you're in the group, definitely look at the guide section and the featured section so that you can get a real overview of what the CDD method is and what it means too. So the first step of teaching the CDD method is teaching language. Now, we know that dogs can understand language. There are studies that do support this, and I do have those listed in my course as well. You can actually trial the first few stages of the course, and you can see the list of studies there for free. So you can have a look at that, sign up and have a look, and you can see all the studies that have helped to influence the CDD method. So there are actually 5 stages of dialogue, and I do have the full 5 stages available in my Redefining Reactivity book and my Redefining Reactivity course. But I'm going to touch on a few just so that you've got something to work with, so I can get you started and you can actually start to see the change that the CDD method can offer you and your dog. So the first stage is teaching word association and following that up with narration. Now, we teach word association in the same way that we would teach young children. And the way we do this is we just focus on the word that we want to teach, but we're not going to isolate it. Now, it's very tempting, and we do this a lot with dogs when we're training dogs, is we isolate the word and we just say like door or sit or down, and we give very instructional language. And I'm going to come away from this because we don't want to rely on this instructional language all the time, this kind of cues and commands. Now, it is important to recognize that sometimes we do need to give instructions. We do need to have some control over our dogs in some respect when we want to keep them safe and when they're not able to make a safe decision. But what we want to do is come away from this just a little bit where it's safe to do so. So inside the house, we're going to start with word association, and we're going to just teach this in a sentence, in a simple sentence. So rather than just an isolated word, we're going to use a sentence. The reason being because it provides context, and when we provide context, it helps us to give natural dialogue. Also, we're going to give our natural gestures, and our body language is going to be much more natural rather than just standing still and giving these kind of instructional one-syllable words. So for example, if I want to teach my dog about going out the door and coming back in the door, I'm not just going to go to the door and point and say door, because that doesn't give an awful lot of context to the situation. It's also not giving away a lot in my voice. You can hear